Hey there, welcome back to the channel. My name is David and today we're going to be modeling a soccer ball. I thought it would be a good thing for me to do to have a break from the normal household object modeling, bicycle modeling, car modeling, whatever. I saw a tutorial on the web, an old tutorial, and I thought, whoa, this looks really cool. So I thought let's make it a two in one tutorial. So we have our panda ball here. We will be doing a panda ball and a modern soccer ball. The difference being the panda has white and black, and the modern ball has some swirls and swooshes and things on it. So without any further ado, let's get to it. So in order to create our ball, we will not be needing a sphere, we will not be needing a geosphere, but we will be creating a new thing. This is the create tab. We are going to go to the extended primitives and choose a hedra. You can do it in the top view, front view. I'm just going to do it in the standard left view. So create a hedra. There we go. And just center everything out because that's the way I like to work. Go to my perspective to see what I have. Go to my perspective to see what I have. And it's not a lot. I have a couple of things that annoy me. One is the grid, so I will press G to get rid of the grid. Press J to get rid of the boundary box. And press F4 to bring up my edges. So the final thing that bugs me is that it's blue. I don't like blue. I like gray. So this is our hedra, and it doesn't look like a ball to me. So we're going to our modify tab and just have a look-see. This looks like a ball, like it could be a ball. Dodic IOS, hey, ICOS, that looks like a ball to me that I can use. But perhaps we have a star or a star 2. No, I don't think so. We'll go with the Dodic ICOS thingy. Now, we need to change a couple of parameters, so we'll just have everything in view here, all the views that are important to me. I just pressed Z to center everything. So let's just play around with these things now. Go to 50. That's slap dab in the center. But this doesn't look like a ball to me. It looks more oval shaped. So we're going to go down again. And that looks like an oval shape to me too. However, we have perfectly perfect hexagonal and 5-sided polygons. So that's what we're going to be working with. So I will leave everything as is, but I usually, when I have a choice between 0 and 100, I'm at 50, or between 1 and 10, I'll be at 5. That's what I prefer, to be in the middle. But as you saw with the family parameters, it did not work. Press Z again. Enlarge the perspective view, and then let's convert this to an editable poly because we need to be able to work with this thing. Now, this is a polygon, so everything is attached to another. You can see this by selecting the element. Excuse me. So now with this in mind, I will just show you the panda ball. It's round, spherical, circular, spherical. I think, yeah, it's a sphere. And it has some indentations here. So we need to create that. So there are a couple of ways of doing this. And then select the element, control polygon, and then choose extrude by local normal, and then by polygon. Now, will this work with our ball? You could say that the extrusion is way too much, but I have a reason for that. Let's add a turbo smooth modifier over it. And there you go. It doesn't look like a soccer ball at all. I don't know what this looks like, but it's not a ball. Not what we need anyways. So we will not be extruding this. What we will be doing is select all the edges, Control A, and split the edges so that if we choose our element, every polygon is now its own element. And that's exactly, whoops, what we want. So with that out of the way, excuse me, with that out of the way, in order to create our panda ball, I'm going to go with the easy way first, and that's to get the modern ball done first. Or should I? Now we'll just stick with this one. We're going to create our material, and instead of choosing the really bright white, I'm choosing 220 or 200. Will that be okay? Now 220 will be okay, because even though it's gray, when it's going to be almost white. So we're going to spell 40, I said 40, not 400, glossiness of 20, and we're going to apply this to our ball. Now this will not do anything much, because what we've seen is that it has a texture on it, and that's what we want. You can Google for soccer ball textures or whatever, but you will get the texture that I have ended up with. I've just changed the texture, we will get to that later. But we need a sort of like distortion map, a bump map, a noise map. So with that being said, you could choose or Google for noise maps, which will give a realistic texture to the ball. So I've gone out to the internet and done just that. I have looked for a bump map, noise bump map, and I found it, and I'm going to be using it. So always check the show standard map in viewport. Always click that option, and then let's render it. First of all, I can't see anything because this render is way too small, so let's just bump it up to 1K. And render it. And zoom in. Now this is way too much. So let's go to 15 to be in the middle. And that's also way too much. So let's just get that out of the way. 5. This is a matter of trial and error to see what it is that you are looking for. It looks a bit harsh. Bit too much. 2.5, 3, 2.5, 3. What should I do? 2? Yeah, that looks like it. Yeah, that's the one. Or maybe even 3. Oh, we can always change that in the material. Let's not dwell on it too much. Let's just go with 2. We can always change it. Now we need the panda color, so that's going to be black. Specular level at 40. Just going to give it the same rundown as we did. Same map. The bump of 2. And our bitmap. Yep. Okay. Now, what we need to do is select all the 5-sided polygons. Now what I will do is click the ignore backfacing, because I know with selecting polygons from one angle or one side, once you hit on to the other side, there's a slight possibility, F3, that you could choose to hit the other, select the other polygon. So with ignore backfacing and of course control pressed, you will not have that problem. So that's sort of a top tip for you. If you have to select both sides of an object, just be sure to tick on the ignore backfacing option. Now let's give that our black material, and yay, we have a panda ball, all textured up and ready to go, but not very ball-like. So instead of going back and back and back, we're just going to go forward here and choose mesh smooth. I'll just leave that at 1. But since everything is detached from another, this mesh smooth does not have the effect that we want it to have. So what we need to do is make this into a sphere, like we have said a couple of times. And we have the spherify modifier. Ta-da! There we go. And is this looking all good? Well, nope, because it's still too angular. So we'll go back to mesh smooth and then choose the amount. Now that's going way too overboard with 5. I have an old laptop. I don't want this thing to explode on me. So going forward, we need to have a edit poly modifier added to it, because we want to modify the polygons. Control A, control polygon selection, so that we have the extrude option. Just by group. Yeah, why not? That looks good. Say OK. And then I hope it will be visible. Or will it not be? We need to add another mesh smooth over it. So you can see that it's quite soft now. But we need to get a little bit into the close-up. But instead of the norms, we're going to go to the quad output. So there you see, now it's all intersected with one another, and that's what we want. So if we render our ball right now, we will have this. Let me enlarge that for you. So you could say that, well, I don't like the texture is too soft. Okay, that could be fixed. Just add a extra bump, and there as well. Let's render that again. Yeah, that looks good, with a bump of 3, and there we have it, our very own panda soccer ball. So moving right along, what I'm going to do here is duplicate this ball. Why? Because we can. Shift and drag it to any direction that you want. Make it a copy. And let me see. I just pressed the 7. Yeah, there we go. Okay. That's okay. So we will just hide all the unselected bits. Excuse me. So in order for the modern ball, that's what I was wondering about. It would be easier, faster, what if and whatnot if we have done this way before, but I wanted to go from old to new instead of the other way around. So we're going to choose a bitmap for the diffuse color, and we have ball. So that's what I'm going to choose. And just going to add that so it looks like crap, but that's okay. We're going to give it some specular level and some gloss, and as you can see it still looks the same. We're going to give it some bump, and since this is a newer ball, I don't feel all that comfortable with this, with the rough texture on it. So now we've done that, and it looks like it's all messed up, and it is. So what we're going to do now is we're going to go to our edit poly level, and from that level we're going to add a UVW map, unwrap UVW map modifier. We're going to select by face because that's what we need. So we're going to press Ctrl A to select all the faces so that you see the map here, or the yeah, that's it. This is the plane that we have, the trajectory plane, and we're going to be editing. Now, as you can see, this is what the plane trajectory looks like. This is not good for our needs. What we need is to have each face separated and flattened out, so to speak. So we go to map, mapping, flatten, mapping, keep everything default, press OK, and there you go. There you go. Now everything is nice and centered, and it looks a lot better, but it should be modified a bit. So let's just load up that texture. Not bump, darn it. Ball, that's the one. So right now let's do some modifying. I will just grab this here and zoom in a bit to make it easier to see. So I've clicked this edge or face, sorry, on this face, and it lights up here. We have several things we could do. We could move, we could rotate, scale, freeform, or mirror. I'm going to choose rotate, and it needs to be upside down. And there we go. So this one needs to be upside down as well, because it all needs to be interconnected. So that's done. Okay. So we can see that these two need to be changed. So I'm going to change this one first. Rotate. And I can see you can scale and what if and whatnot if you would like to. I honestly don't. I'm not all that into texturizing that much, so we'll just do the best, or I will do the best that I can. Okay, select this one, and it's fairly easy because it's just one way up or down, and it's not bad, I guess, to be doing stuff like this, but I'm more used to modeling everything than just applying a color to it instead of using a texture, but that's okay. So there's that. Adidas, does this look good? Well, no, not really. We need to be moving this slightly to the side so the Adidas will be centered a bit better. Yeah, that's it. Don't worry about that too much. So, if I'm not mistaken, we have everything that we needed to do to our ball. Go to the mesh smooth. Unhide all. And just find a good angle. I want to have that Adidas thingy. Yeah, there we go. F3, F3, and F3. Okay, so now we'll just move that. And we have our two balls. Let me just, I guess this is not working out like I want to. That was someone posting an update on Facebook or whatever, so there we go. So it's nice to have different angles on the balls as well. Let me just zoom in. I like to fill up the space as much as I can, just like a small kid. So let's just enlarge this for your viewing pleasure. And as you can see with this thing, there is a bit too much bump going on. So I'll just bump the bump down and re-render this. Yeah, that looks much better. Oh yeah, I could easily coarse up this one, but I don't think so. So there it is, how to create a ball. And as you can see from this right here and this, it doesn't align up perfectly. You could if you wanted to. I don't. But that's just me. So I hope you find this tutorial useful. If you like it, give it a thumbs up. If you don't like it, you can give it a thumbs down. Feel free to subscribe to the channel if you want to, on YouTube or VidMe. Be sure to follow, and hopefully see you soon in another tutorial. Thank you for watching. See you then. Bye bye.